Good morning, friends. This unit 46, it is mainly focused on the UPI payments. See, last unit 44, we saw about cards. Okay, unit 45, it was about the electronic fund transactions. That is using the net banking, Visa, all those things. In this unit 46 also, what we will see is that, unified payment interface, UPI payments, and what are the features of mobile banking. Okay. Now, see, you transact through card, you transact through your mobile app, and you transact through your web portal. Okay. So, the ultimate functionality is going to be more or less the same. Okay. But the channel through which we transact, so the different levels of security, the players who are there, okay, and the legal and what are the implications. So certain things are different. Okay. So for that, we have to understand what are the technologies that are used. Okay. If you do internet banking, I can do internet banking with my laptop, or I can do internet banking with my tablet PC, tab. Okay. Or I can do it with my smartwatch. Okay. Now, we have a lot of facilities to do the web, do the internet banking. And then, NEFT, RTGS payment systems, they're all done through this. Okay. Now, the same features of your internet banking can be used in your mobile phone also. In my mobile phone, I can do RTGS or NEFT transactions also. Okay. So, which are all applicable in this technology, internet banking, that is applicable in the mobile also, internet web-based mobile version. That is mobile version of that is applicable. The mobile version may not be the same as the laptop version. Okay, because it should be mobile user friendly. So they have some different, slightly different look and feel appearance, not functionality, look and feel appearance. Then apart from this internet banking, mobile based apps, because certain apps you cannot install in your laptop. You can use it, they are only for mobile specific. Okay. I can tell some example. Your SMS banking. Okay. Banking through SMS facilities. And then voice based banking. That is, you give a missed call and then they call back, all those things. And then the third is, that is interactive voice response. Okay. So these things, they're all based on the GSM rules and regulation. What is this GSM? Global System for Mobile Communication. Okay. So they are based on those things. Those things we cannot do it in our laptop. Okay. Now, so these regulations will apply only for mobile bank. So these are the different types you can use. We'll see one by one in detail. And before that, I wanted to make clear what is online connectivity and offline connectivity. The online connectivity, what is online connectivity? When you say offline, yes, offline connectivity, here the internet is not required continuously. Okay, see what happens, we saw in the core banking, you have the branch servers. Okay, so it is all stored in the branch server. Later on, when the net comes, then it goes to the other side. Like that, you remember it like that. Okay, so offline connectivity does not require internet continuously. Okay, see, it will all store in, offline documents. You do all the modifications in the document, and then once you connect with the net, it is all posted there. Okay, it is like, interleaved connectivity. That is, you don't connect it continuously. You connect it for some time, then you disconnect it. Then you work on that, then you connect it like that. So this is called offline connectivity. So there is a difference between online connectivity and offline connectivity. It doesn't mean that offline connectivity will never require internet connection. Then how will we do the business? We cannot do it, right? So it is like within some interval of time, it is connected. Okay. Then The two-factor authentication visa, what the user knows, what the user has, and what the user is. Okay. Now, here they say dynamic, one factor must be dynamic. It should be fresh for each transaction. So that is the reason. Dynamic means keep on changing. Okay. See, certain things won't change, that, biometric stuff, unless otherwise something happens to that person. Biometric identity will not change. Okay, physical, any injury happens, biometric will change. Otherwise, it will not change. So generally, it won't change. But certain OTP and all, every time you need to change. Okay, every time if you need to change means that is new things will be generated. So it is dynamic. Okay, then other one is certain things will change periodically. For example, your PIN numbers and all. Nowadays, it's asking to change it in a frequent. I know that in a frequency of time, it is asking you to change. So one factor must be dynamic. Another factor need not be maybe dynamic or need not be dynamic. Okay. And then the factors must be independent. See, the OTP and your PIN number are independent. They are not, dependent on the other one. Your OTP is not dependent on your PIN number. So they should be independent factors. So that the validation of one factor is not affecting the validation of the other one. So these two things, these are all like, new regulations RBI has given. Okay. Okay. Then, what are the biometric authentication we do? Biometric, we do fingerprint. Then we have this voice identification. Then retina, eye retina, iris, gait. The way the person's walk is called as a gait. Okay. It is now the risk-based authentication. They are even capturing the gait and trying to find out the personality, who is that person, so they can associate with the person. So a lot of things are there. Okay. Now coming to mobile banking. Now one by one we will go. Okay. For using this mobile banking feature, if you want to have your banking application put on your mobile, then we have to get the permission of RBI. Okay. And then banks with the core banking facility, they can go for mobile banking. Then they something tell us open internet technology. Open internet technology means, see, I can have any handset. I can have Nokia, I can have Samsung, I can have this, Apple, iPhone, whatever it is. But, that should not affect the installation of the app. It should be independent. It should not be dependent on any particular stuff. Okay. And whatever way, whatever technology, lot of technologies may change, new things will come, speed will increase. Okay. But all are finally, everything will be under the control of rules and regulations which are prescribed by RBI. Okay. KYC, AML, that is anti-money laundering, and financial, that is a financing, terror financing. Okay. So all these things are applicable to mobile phones also. And when I say mobile applications, it is like, mobile or tablet PCs. Those things are. Okay. Then digital wallet. Wallet means purse. Okay. Digital wallet. Okay. The digital wallet is nothing but your, GPay, and then you have this Phone Pay. Phone Pay, there was some issue, I think. Some issue was there in that. Okay. So now then you have this wallet. This e-wallet is something where you can use it through your app and you can install it in your laptop. When you say wallet, you can install only in your mobile devices. Okay. Mobile centric design. The design is mobile centric. Okay. Here also, wallet means this e-wallet is something like, you always need to have internet connection. And one more thing is, it is not based on mobile rules and restrictions. And you cannot do it in laptop, e-wallet. Okay. You cannot do it in your mobile phones. In wallet, certain things like, without internet connectivity also, we can go for banking. So banking service can be done with or without internet connectivity, totally without internet connectivity. How it is, we will see. Okay. And some have this offline connectivity. Some have offline connectivity. Some have no, without any internet connectivity only we can do. Okay. How we will see. Okay. This is one method of this USSD 2.0. Kindly note the full form: unstructured supplementary service data. Okay. Now we all know this UPI, that is a unified payment interface, is introduced by NPCI. Fine. Now USSD means unstructured supplementary service data. Okay. Now this is mainly meant for the persons who do not have smartphones. RBI coins the term as future phones. Okay, that is the button phones. Okay, so those button phones are called feature phones. So they can also go for phone banking, mobile banking. How? We use this, you can give this number in your, even in your smartphone also you can give. Okay, if you give this, invoke this, type this number and try to call, then this feature will open. And then it will give you text-based commands. And with that text-based responses, you can go for banking. Okay, that feature of that UPI is called as 123 pay. UPI 123 pay, which is meant for only feature phones. Kindly note the limit per day 1 lakh transaction. Per transaction, 10,000 maximum you can transfer. For this service, if you have a mobile phone, SMS, by default it will come, right? And then this USSD feature, this will come automatically when you have a mobile phone. These features are automatically installed in that. Okay, it is a built-in features. So you need not install anything for this. You can do that. Okay, this is integrated with core banking. Kindly note this. Certain things are not integrated. I have put in every case which is integrated, which is not integrated.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. Okay.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Okay, let me see the connections. Now, what's the normal UPI limits and what are the transactions, required for, certain categories? They have relaxed the limits. Okay, so all these things I have listed out here. For verified merchants, that is special category. See, that verified merchants means what? If they are from education, hospitals, they would have registered it already. So for them, using this UPI, we can transfer, say, 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 6 lakhs, like that. So if they are registered verified merchants, the categories are, the limits are different. Okay. Then you have this UPI Lite and UPI Litex. In this UPI Lite, you need to have full internet connectivity. In this UPI Litex, you need not have this internet connectivity. It is offline connective. That is, interleaved you can use offline connectivity. Okay. Then this UPI Lite, actually here you should know which is actually integrated with core banking, which is not integrated with core banking. So UPI Litex is not integrated with core banking. Especially, initially when you load it only, you integrate and then you use it with the internet connection. Then onwards, later on only, see that the internet connection with the core banking is also like, initially once you load, you can have the core banking. Then whenever you post it, you want it in the core banking. Not for each and every transaction. Okay, but in UPI Lite, for every transaction, it is full internet connectivity, and this is integrated with core banking. Okay, then you have this UPI international payments. Okay, this is you want to reduce the dependency on SWIFT. When you go for cross-border payments, you want to reduce the dependency on SWIFT. So for that, we have expanded the service of this UPI to international payments. One such thing is UPI Pay Now app. Okay, P2P means person to person and merchant payments. Okay, so this Pay Now app is from the Singapore bank. Okay, Singapore nationalized that, that central bank of that, which is in the Singapore. And then this UPI is from India. So they have integrated these two and they have linked it. Using this app, we can transfer the money. The limit per day is 60,000 rupees. Okay, so it is a real-time transaction. And so, you cannot cancel the transaction. It's real time. It is not like a batch and all. It is real time. Okay. Similarly, we have UPI International app. You can do it for Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, like that. Okay. Now, this is for from here to Singapore and Singapore to here using UPI. Then another one is UPI One World. Okay. See, you might have got cousins or relatives or friends. This pay now is only for Singapore. Other things you can use this UPI International app and use it. Okay. And see, currently it is like this. But after 6 months, if you ask, I will give you different answer. Okay, fine. Then this UPI One World is, you might have got relatives, they are visiting in the vacation or some tourists are coming here. So for them, they are giving this UPI One World app. Okay, this is a prepaid. This is all your GPay and all are, they are prepaid instruments basically. Okay, then to them we can give this prepaid instrument PPI, this like this, UPI One World app we can give, and we can load it with Indian piece. Okay, so it is easy for them to do the purchase, easy for them to do the transactions with this UPI One World. So kindly note the difference. International payments is for payment between here and the below mentioned countries. But UPI One World is for the foreigners or NRIs who visit India to facilitate their purchases and to manage their petty cashes when they come into India, their purchases and all that stuff. You have this UPI One World. Okay. Then UPI Circle. Nowadays, you would have seen one small button which is present in that, with the love buttons, kind of symbol, hearting symbol is there in UPI transactions. Okay, that is this group payments, delegated payments, they say. You want to set up an, pocket money kind of those things. What it is, we'll see here. Group payments. See, one thing is you go and buy a gift for your colleague's wedding. Okay, all of your staff members. Okay, so for that, what you do, you go one person pays and then you share it with a group payment. You split the bill and you pay. That is a group payment. Another one is a delegated payment. This is similar to your add-on cards facility. Okay, here what happens, there is one primary account holder. That account holder UPI should be linked. He is a master. Okay, probably the head of the family. Okay, then you can add 5 secondary users to that account holder. They may or may not have an account. Okay, they do not have a bank account. The primary user, what he can do, we can install this UPI Circle feature, and then he can monitor, and then he can put some money in the wallets of the secondary users. Okay, like a college going son or daughter, they might use it. Okay, so and then the limits will depend on there are 2 varieties in that. We'll see the limits based on that. Okay, so here all the transactions happen through wallets, but the primary, whatever happens or whatever discrepancies, the whole responsibility is on the head of this master card holder, the head of the family, or whoever is having the account. Okay, whoever is putting that money in the other wallets. Okay, so he is the primary user. The responsibility is with the primary user. Here there are 2 types. One is the full delegation, another one is a partial delegation. Okay, full delegation means, see, these teenage children, what they know, every time, see, they can have some, they hesitate to ask money to the parents. See, till they are in school and all, no, they will say, my miss asked this, my miss asked that and all. So they will ask the money and then they don't hesitate. But once they grow teenage, they hesitate to ask the parents for pocket money. Psychologically, they say that. So for those purpose, every time, see what you do, monthly some amount you put. Okay, some limits are there. Monthly up to say, 15,000 per secondary user we can put. Okay, so and then every time there's some pocket expenses, small petty expenses, they need not ask for approval to you. Okay, so this is full delegation. Partial delegation is, see, this is similar, to a condition where some of them may have aged parents who are in remote villages. Okay, they might be left with a caretaker. Okay, so that they may not be in a position to use the new features. Okay, the caretaker only uses those features. For them, you have to take care of them. We may be in some other city. Okay, so to facilitate such scenarios, what they do, they give the caretaker this UPI wallet. Okay, and then they put money in the wallet. Okay, for this money, every time approval should be given by you, be given by the primary user. Every time the primary user should give the approval for transaction. And here there is no limit. Okay, full delegation, but every time it should they should initiate a payment request and then you approve it all through mobile only. Then they do it. So these are different types in this UPI circle. UPI one, but I'll refer and tell. I'll refer and tell. Okay. And by the way, yesterday there was one doubt they asked. See, SFMS, there are two types of IDs for that. One is the UTR, that is whatever, whether you do that, RTGS or NEFT. RTGS has got one ID. I have